checking connection on, well, it finally came up. Look at that. So, anyways, I don't know why it is that Instagram always takes longer. We're checking connection. Your connection's not as good for us as it is for Facebook, apparently. Anywho, we have nobody yet.
Oh my gosh, I can't find I'm giving up.
What are you talking about?
The calendar.
Which calendar?
The Murray's calendar. It's small. I don't see it.
That's okay. We're going to be doing a whole show on Detroit stuff next week. So, oh, we got people jumping on. So, hello, everybody. Time Warp Tuesday here. And, So, Jasmine is here, and we are... Wait, hang on. We're telling more followers to join your video. Oh, I didn't know it said that usually.
Yeah.
We got one in over here.
Hello.
Hello. So, tonight's show has no topic.
No, it doesn't, because we're slackers.
Because we're slackers, and it's a surprise show. We have to throw in a surprise show every so often, right?
We're just going to
I think we should. Well, hello, David. So, we're just going to be, talking about certain things around us. Jasmine did do a little bit of research for a few things that she's... Ew, I don't want to hear my
I'm so
voice.
sorry. But yes, I did a little bit of research on some Detroit
it doesn't show me
related things.
anything?
What happened?
Shows me nothing. Shows me
We
nothing.
just have a hello.
Yes, we have a hello. We got 5 people joining. Anyway, so it's a everything. It's
anything and everything
it's
right now.
potpourri.
Yeah, literally. Potpourri.
Yes, and actually that ties into what I'm going to be talking about a little bit.
Okay.
Because that's what you could use it for.
Oh, honestly, that's a really good idea.
Right? So some of the things we're going to talk about are vintage ashtrays and what you can use vintage ashtrays for. Because a lot of people don't smoke, and if they do, they use electronic smoking, so there's no ash anymore.
Right.
So what we can use those for, and Jasmine has some great ideas about that as well. Then we're going to talk a little bit about pottery and how to tell if you can put water in it or not. And then she's got some Michigan facts that we're going to be talking about.
Which is not going to go in depth as far as I'd like today, but we will be continuing that next week.
Yes, because next week we're going to do a whole show on one of the oldest cities in the country, Detroit. We're going to talk about Detroit and the surrounding area, and we're going to look at some of the old advertising pieces and how they did it.
I'm so excited for that.
Because Detroit was a city that invented a lot of stuff for this country.
A lot that you would not even expect, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, we all know that Henry Ford, did the cars and that we are the car capital, but there are other things that this state is known for and that this city is known for that people don't realize.
Absolutely.
Like techno is one of them.
Really? I didn't know that.
Techno started here.
Wow.
Yes.
I can't wait to dive more into that. That's going to be
Yes,
awesome.
and a lot of people don't realize that because Motown supersedes it.
And, I mean, which is unfortunate because you would think that since they're both music related, that they would kind of go hand in hand with each other, but I guess Motown didn't want to put that much effort into it.
Well, Motown was their Motown.
Okay.
So,
sure.
I mean, Motown was Detroit.
Sure.
Is Detroit.
Did you hear recently that the Motown Museum recently just got granted a $10,000 grant to do some extra refunding and remodeling that was
I thought they were going to expand that.
Yes, so I think that's what they're going to do with that.
So if you ever get a chance to come to Detroit, we've got Motown Museum downtown that is about to be expanded, and it is fantastic. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, I've never been inside of it.
Me neither. I've driven past
And
it.
I'm going to tell you, as somebody who grew up here, as well as me who grew up in California, go. Because I lived in San Francisco for 15 years and never stepped foot on Alcatraz. Because you want to know why? Because every day I would say, I live here, I'll go. And guess what? I don't live there anymore.
And you're like, so how can I go
never
now?
went.
So, I mean, today, I feel like
Would you like me to get started?
Yes, I do, honestly, because I feel
Well,
like
this
I'm
is a Detroit thing that I stuck over here that, kind of Detroit thing. But, this is just a drawing of the Rat Tank.
Which is super cool.
Isn't that cool? It's a t-shirt drawing that would have went on the t-shirt. So, David, hi guys. Sorry I have not been watching, been out of commission for a while. David? I didn't see who that was that said that.
Mine doesn't even show me that.
Well, I'm happy you're here today.
Honestly.
So, anyways, and the Rat Tank, this is the coolest thing. I just love this design. And if you've seen the van that we've done, that we've talked about, Dave's van,
The Bubble Gunner?
the 70s, the Bubble Gunner, this is on top. of it.
Which is super cool.
Super cool. So I'm going to set this over here, and then, and we'll talk more about that when we get.
Speaking of cars,
Yeah.
I'll just give this little tidbit.
Give the tidbit.
So I know we had a calendar, and it's got to be here somewhere. Either someone must have snagged it up, or it's just hidden and I can't find it. But I know you guys have to remember Murray's Part City. It was originally called Part City. Murray's was at the end of it, and that was the name of their little mascot, which was like a guy, and he's smiling, and he's got like little straggly black hairs everywhere. It's very nostalgic. If I showed it to you, I know you guys would remember. But I just found out that Murray's only has one standing location left in Michigan, and that is all the way in Walled Lake. They opened 35 years ago in 1975, and Murray's went away because O'Reilly's bought them all and changed their entire outside and inside to look just like O'Reilly's. Oh, that's my grandmother. Hello,
Okay.
Grandma. Hi.
That's what I had written up there. So you get all those. I don't.
I was going to say, this took 10 minutes for
Why
it to
don't
come
I
up
get-
because
how
mine did
come
not
I-
take,
I
that's
don't get
Instagram,
anything?
silly. This is Facebook.
No, I know, but Facebook doesn't show me anything either anymore.
And it took forever for this to come up, too.
Anywho, we can go on and on about the craziness of Facebook and their stuff. So
But
if you
yes.
see any irrelevant
Oh,
questions, let me know.
absolutely, absolutely.
So let's talk about ashtrays, and let's talk about why ashtrays are still relevant.
Yes.
Okay, so, back in the day, smoking was part of entertaining.
Literally, you were the it person. Everyone smoked if you were. It was a luxury item, believe it or not.
It was, and, so there was ashtrays in every home, and they were part of the decor. So when you come across ashtrays, especially vintage ashtrays that are absolutely cool.
Beautiful.
I mean, isn't that beautiful? Look at this. I'll show you both here. Look at this. Pink, mid-century. I
gold
love the
flake.
design, the gold flake in it. I mean, it's just beautiful. Something like this is a piece of art
Oh, absolutely.
today. And if you notice, nobody put their cigarettes out in it because it would be all black, right?
Yep.
But this is good for potpourri. This is good for
Keys,
candy.
jewelry, candy.
Keys, candy. We have a customer who buys these and hangs them on the wall as art.
Yes, and some of them, like this one, doesn't have a hollow backing, but a
No.
lot of the old school, mid-century, modern ones
We'll have a hollow back.
will have the hollow backing. I think this is one of them. No,
No.
this isn't. This is one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, will you hold that for me?
Yep.
This one's really funny. I'll show you guys that.
I know, isn't that cute?
We-
See, these are fun ashtrays that you can use for anything.
But you see the back has that lip, so you're able to still hang it up and use it as art.
Yep. Also, this one, something like this, which looks like a little swimming pool. Where is the pool one? Here it is.
This is my favorite ashtray if I actually felt like I would utilize it enough.
Okay, so those of you who know pottery know Raymore. This is Raymore.
Beautiful.
Raymore. Looks like a swimming pool, right? So how cool if you have a room in your bathroom to put this in the bathroom maybe, and use it for Q-tips, use it for just
Soap.
to lay up. Soap. Because this part right here, this is non-sequential today, right?
No, it's
because we
not.
don't put anything on it.
Exactly.
Now, you can still use, because marijuana is legal, and you could still use these for if you're smoking non-vape.
Right. Like tobacco
You could
products
use
or urban
these.
needs.
Right. But most people use the vape.
Yeah.
So-
But another good idea that just came across my brain is specifically for a style of ashtray like that. If you're a painter, you can use it as like a little
Right.
dust off brush, but then you can set your brush on there and it'll allow it to dry without sitting in water.
See, Raymore. Oops. Raymore here. Yep. And then this is out of, and Raymore, Italy here, which, and this is not the price, this is the original price you would have gotten. But, and Raymore. So this is a very, very good. You know what else this would be cute for? If you have a pool house or a pool room, this would be cute in there because it
Perfect.
looks like a pool.
And I just love how this is the tile, this is the pool, this is the diving board.
Right. I know. Something like this would be cute in the bathroom that you could put your anything in, actually. You can drop your rings in this
Now, what the
when you
heck
go to take a shower.
would somebody use this for?
A single button. Oh, actually, Ikebana style arrangement. And when I say, okay, we're going to move on to this here real quick
Because I am very intrigued.
actually, so this is what she's talking about. It's glass, isn't it pretty? Art glass, right? Very nice. So I could see an ikebana arrangement. And what an ikebana arrangement is, it's a Japanese style of arranging florals
Okay.
or greens, and it's very sparse. So you would put like maybe a cattail and then a lily.
Okay.
And then this
Is the centerpiece.
is your centerpiece, and then you've got, you know what I mean? So it's very sparse, but yet very modern and elegant in design. So that's something, or you would just set it out on your mantle or your table.
Great choice.
You know, so there's different things that you can use for different things. So check this one out. I'm going to show you a bunch of different ashtrays. Look at that beautiful piece of glass. Now this is a weapon.
Oh, absolutely. And
Right.
that's something I wouldn't even put anything out in just because of the embellishments.
And I would just keep this out as a decoration. And that's what they become, a beautiful piece of glass, right? Ooh, look at that piece now.
I'm going to take this
Now
out
this piece is turn of the 19th, or turn of the 20th century. So you would see this in like, you know, a nice library or a nice room, maybe during the Great Gatsby period.
Oh, I didn't even notice that his eyes have gems in them.
Have the rhinestones in them. This is an old piece. Look at the elephant. Isn't that fabulous? The only thing I wish is that the elephant's trunk was up.
I feel like
And
it'd
it
be
is
a
kind
hazard
of.
if you like kicked it on accident.
But it is kind of up.
Yeah.
Because
He's kneeling.
in the Asian world, an elephant's trunk's down is bad luck. But this is so cool. And now there's this kind, and then you have, isn't that cool?
Love it.
Look at this. So if you're a glass lover, just having these set up, I mean, you've got your star design edged in, your edge star design inside, so you could easily just set this out and not put anything at all in it, and it'd be a great piece of glass, art glass. Another good art glass one, which this I have never seen before.
It's so pretty.
I have never seen one like this before, and really, this is an ashtray. And I know people are looking and going, really, that's an ashtray? Yeah, it's an ashtray, because there's where you put your cigarette. So you'd put your cigarette like so, and it would go in here. But really, you could do a nice ikebana arrangement, or you could do just a few glass stones
Beautiful
or
rings in it.
or something, because it's just got that opening right there.
It's so pretty.
And it's got the engraved rose on it. Cool.
Is it matte on the front? The rose? Like etched in there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's edged in. Probably with a machine. Then what do you have there?
A little teeny tiny smoker section big boy
With the
ashtray.
big boy. How cool is that? I love it. And that's going to be part of our conversation next week, too, is big boy.
It sure is.
So if you have a tiki bar, this would be great to sit on.
Oh, 100%. That's
Right?
new, right?
Look at this. Isn't this fabulous with those pink flamingos in there? It is an ashtray, but you could easily set this up on... do you have your phone?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, I just want to make sure I'm not missing any. Oh, Steve is on. Wow, we have a lot of people.
Jason, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do your cigarettes taste a little funny?
Ah! Isn't that funny? I love it. He's peeing in there.
He's peeing on your cigarettes.
What does that say? That is
Daytona Beach, Florida.
Daytona Beach, Florida. So he's had a few drinks.
Literally. LOL.
So, but this I thought was a souvenir piece, and it's not. It doesn't say Hawaii on it, but it would be great for your tiki bar. Just sit on the bar.
And so with this.
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
What is it?
So this is a little tugboat. You put your cigarette here, and the smoke comes out of the top.
They're called smokers.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. And they come in all different types of things.
Like whales and-
like everything you can think of. People, composers, where it comes out of their ears,
We've
stuff
got
like
another
that.
one here.
Yep, and it's got the smoker with this coming out. They can't see over here. But isn't that a little potbelly stove but this would be great in a kitchen that is done in like
Cabin
themed or like general store, vintage general store.
Yes, where everything's red and white plaid.
Absolutely, you could totally. Okay, so here now I'm going to think outside of the box, you guys, because you could set this on your sink and put your sponge in it.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
You can
so
also put an incense in it, right?
oh yeah, you could. You could put one of the little ones.
Yeah, the cones.
Yeah. So it would be good for like your sponge or for an incense. It would come out of the little thing up here. So it was always fun back then, right? And let me set this down. But I'm just going to show you a few that we have because we have a lot. We have a lot of ashtrays. So we have natural stone as well. Look at this thing.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Natural stone, alabaster most likely. And again, look at the inside of here. So people, they didn't really use them, I don't think.
Sorry, I'm playing with your scary.
Oh, that's okay. But they are very much...
They're very...
Or they cleaned them right away.
They're elegant. They're very, like, not basic, but they're very
Right.
clean looking. And
Now, you look at something like this, there's no places, you know what I mean? Because you're just supposed to sit it in there. So you could easily sit this out and put all your little, your stones in it.
yeah, literally. Your crystals. We even have a charcoal one
Yeah.
as well.
You can put your stones in it, you can put your healing stones in it, all sorts of stuff. Put a candle in the center with your
Ooh,
stones.
that'd be very nice.
Wouldn't that be pretty? Then what she's talking about are these here. We got 2 more natural stone ones I want to show you guys.
Oh, wow. I really like that one.
And these are great. Now it's got your cigarette thing, but you could still easily put your healing stones, a candle.
You can use that for paintbrushes. Again.
Anything. Paintbrushes. She's an artist, so she talks about her paintbrushes, which is perfect. This is coal. This would look cool with like some of the little stone skeleton heads.
Yes.
Like the skulls,
And,
the
like,
stone skulls.
That would kind of be like the sand to break up the ash.
Right.
And I like that a lot.
So the stone ones are really cool for way more than just
Oh,
smoking.
absolutely. They're also
Right?
porous and cool, so they won't hold flames as long, so you don't have to worry about
Yep. And there are tiny ones.
passing your cigarette out.
Mm-hmm. Now, one that we got here, what,
Barcelona.
from Barcelona, Spain. Maria, this reminds me of you a little bit. Not that it's smoking because you don't smoke, but Barcelona from Spain. So, anyways, Barcelona, it's a travel ashtray, and you hide your cigarettes in ashtrays or your ashes down below. But again, this would be a great incense holder. Put a little incense down inside there. What do you think?
Oh, wow. That would actually be really nice.
But look at this. So, all the different places on it. How fun is that?
Now we can talk about Ashtray's best friend. We've got Ohio Blue Tip matches. We've also got, honestly, I don't
I
know
love the
these.
I love the boxes. These are for your fireplace. They're matches, but look at the fun boxes they come in, right? And then Pine Mountain matches. These are all things that you would use for your fireplace.
And they're
Check
all
out
very
this
long.
one.
Very pretty.
That's a big ashtray, isn't it?
It reminds me
This
of
is
the
for
Mayan
a
calendar.
a festive night out, right? It does remind me of that, of one of the Aztec calendars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but look how big this thing is. And you could set this out. You could put a candle in the center. You could put stuff around the candle. It would be great for Halloween because it's orange. And you could fill it full of like spider rings or whatever. So there's so much more use for these than just smoking. So, Jasmine, what could you use this for?
If I weren't using it for cigarettes,
Right.
you could put glasses in here. You could
Glasses.
You could literally take this with you and put rocks in it
Who
when you
remembers
find
these?
it, or shells, or
That's a good one.
I would honestly use this for like things that I find out when I'm on a hike that I don't want to put in my pocket.
And optical fashion. Wait, this is for glasses, isn't it? It looks like a cigarette case.
I just immediately
Doesn't
thought
it?
glasses when I seen it.
But what's funny is it's an optical
Optical
company.
thing.
It's an optical company. But it looks like something you'd hold cigarettes in. This goes over glasses. See, look at that. It's craziness. But and then of course we have.
The skier
I love those. The skier for the ashtray.
skiing on a mountain of ash.
Isn't that crazy? We've got that, and then they made all kinds of them, you guys. And you'll see some during the Detroit Talk. What are you laughing at?
I just heard like a bunch
Oh.
of glass clinking around.
Look at this. This is U.S. I can't read that word, but check that out. It's got the engine on it. Great for a
A cannon.
man cave.
Is that a cannon or an engine?
Hi, Mom. It's an engine. It's an engine. You know, it's funny because all my comments are coming up on my Instagram phone, on the Instagram one.
And the Facebook ones are taking forever. This one's really cute.
Isn't that cute?
It's a little duck swimming.
We go through ashtrays like crazy.
Honestly, we had a really cool one that actually sold yesterday.
What was it?
The smart ass one.
Oh, that sold this morning.
Oh, did it?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that cute? And then something
We have
else I
so
wanted
many
to show you
different
guys, which is really cool, is this. Okay, so back in the day, back in the 60s when you'd entertain and you'd have people over, you would want to share your cigarettes, right? So you have your table lighter, which would be sitting on the table, right? Then you would have this.
I thought that was a pepper grinder.
This, right? It does look like a pepper grinder, doesn't it? But it is not a pepper grinder. This hides a cool thing. If you pull it up, you have all your cigarettes sticking out. So that way you would have it up. Have you not seen that?
I didn't know that that's what
Yep.
it did.
So you, it would be sitting on the it'd be sitting on the table, and you would say, "Take one." You know, and so today this would be good for if you had a party and you did some like herbal stuff. Since it's not as expensive as it used to be, you could easily share it this way. Just make sure you take the keys of the people who are doing
Literally.
it. But yeah, how cool is that, right?
I love that so much. I want just this. And
Isn't that the coolest
big
thing?
yes.
Some of the smoking paraphernalia that comes out back in the 50s, 60s, 70s are so unique.
Because I don't know if you've ever seen, which I'm sure you have, but it looks like a normal jewelry box, but you spin the top and the doors spin and they're actually
Yeah,
cigarette
for
holders.
cigarette
I
holders.
need that in
Yeah.
my life. It's so nice.
So, now another thing we were going to talk about is, and this was broken in there. Can you show that?
Oh yeah.
Thanks. Another thing I wanted to just mention about is pottery as well. But this show is going to be more showing you the type of stuff that we have as well, because we have some cool like Roseville. Who likes Roseville on here? Show me some hearts. I have not seen one heart since we've been on here, and this is not meaning you give me hearts.
Which is weird because I've been giving us some and haven't seen them come up at all.
Yeah, I haven't seen them come up at all either. It's strange. But
Oh
everybody-
yeah, we're getting some.
Oh, we're getting nothing.
We don't see it on there, but we see it on here.
It's so strange. It's comments will appear here. That's so strange to me. So no comments are appearing.
We're
Sorry,
still
I'm
getting
so.
hearts.
Oh, finally, my mom just showed up. Hi guys. Now we do. Okay, so Roseville. Let's talk about Roseville. Roseville pottery. Who knows Roseville? Come on. Roseville is one of the oldest potteries we have. And or there is. Well, there's older, but more commonly old. Like people use it a lot or like it a lot. So it's considered an old school antique.
Okay.
Okay, because Roseville goes back a ways, and a lot of older school collectors like Roseville, as well as some younger
I was gonna
ones.
say, what about like Mount Clemens pottery?
Mount Clemens pottery is not Roseville. It has nothing to do with Roseville.
Okay.
Roseville is out of Ohio, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Roseville is out of Ohio. And they have some gorgeous pieces. Now, this has matching
Wow.
candle holders, 2 of them up there. But this is a great piece, and for somebody for like a gift to have this would be great for the fall coming up. You could do a nice fall arrangement on it.
Cornucopia.
Yes, a cornucopia. And one of the reasons I said you could do a fall arrangement in it is you see how glossy it is? Isn't that glossiness fantastic? So you want to make sure that the inside of your vase or anything you put water in has a glossy finish. A vitrification is what it's called. Vitrification. And what that is the process in which they put sand in the kiln. And those who've been watching us for a while know. I missed it. What did Sue say?
Yes, you are correct. It is in Ohio.
It is in Ohio. So because of the clay. Okay, so did you hit somebody liked his response. So those of you who don't know, that is Steve, the other owner of the company, my husband, and also the knowledgeable person on everything.
But you didn't tell him the main part. So the reason why this would
Yes.
be good to put water in it is because there is a glaze on the inside.
Correct. So
Now, this one does not, and I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I'll put it right by the mic, so you can hear the fact that terracotta is still exposed.
So
on
what
the
would
inside.
happen if I put water in that?
This would literally, over time, in about 20 minutes, the entire thing would be empty and there'd be water everywhere. Not like everywhere, but a majority of it would be soaked into the clay, and a lot of it would be sitting underneath of your pot.
Yes, because the bottoms are usually not vitrified,
Yes,
and this is not.
This is literally
So-
not even on the bottom.
Vitrification is a process during the kiln, during the firing process, where they dump sand
Yep.
into the kiln while it's hot and cooking, so that way it puts a glass coating over the item, like your dishes, like the dishes you eat off from, the cups, the ceramic cups you drink out of, the vases you put flowers in, that all is vitrified. So that way the water over time does not soak into the clay, causing it to collapse.
Which we're not truly saying terracotta pots are bad. Like
No, get them.
If you live in a vicinity like Florida or Arizona where it is really humid and overwatering your plants is something that can happen very easily, terracotta potters are great because over time the humidity will
So
just cause
you
it to
can
evaporate.
plant in a terracotta planter. You can plant in a non-vitrified terracotta planter because if you water correctly, the water goes into the plant, not into the container. Once water buildup is in the container, you can smell that.
Oh, absolutely.
So it stinks, and you don't want to get to that point anyways. So vitrification is possible, but and we do have a few of the Roseville pieces, but some of the other pieces which are cool, like this is Roseville too, I believe.
Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah, this is Roseville, and you want to make sure that your Roseville, you guys, has the Roseville name on it correctly, because I can show you what a fake Roseville looks like. Would you like to see?
Of course.
Okay, hold on to this and say hi to them.
Hello. I guess when he walks away, I guess I can give you guys some more tips. Did you know that the Detroit Bad Boys actually got their name because they were one of the most defensive players in the NBL? And the last part is that they were largely responsible for the demise of the Great Lakers and the Celtics team of the 80s.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Okay, so Roseville. Let's talk about Roseville and pottery. And I know I'm kind of jumping, but it's ceramic ashtrays and pottery ashtrays versus pottery, stuff like that. This is a fake Roseville. This is a real Roseville. This is a real Roseville. This is a fake Roseville. Real, fake. And I'm going to show you how. And look, we even write it. And so we will tell you, this is how we will tell you, fake. Fake. And the price will be a lot cheaper, yeah. So when you look at Roseville, can you hold that? Just like, hold on. Hold this. I realized it was upside down there. Okay, so if you look closely at this,
I'm gonna move
can
it
you
so
guys,
they
yeah,
both can
let's
see
get
it.
closer.
There you go.
Okay, so if you look closely at this, and I don't know if you can see that,
There you go.
you see how it's raised, how Roseville is raised on there? And it also has on there more than just Roseville. It has a number, 8736, and then the Roseville, right? And you see how it's embossed and it looks good and everything on there. And you take a look at the product, and the product looks good. There's no overpainting. There's no, nothing like that, right? This fake Roseville, let's look at the painting first, okay?
Looks horrible.
Look at the painting. The colors are not good. The colors are too dark, and the painting is not good. It's very archaic looking, as you can see. There's overlap in the coloring. It shows that there's not as much time used. Look at the Roseville mark on the bottom. Oops. Look at the Roseville mark. Now, look at the difference of the Roseville mark. It just says Roseville, right? Here, you can tell that there's time put in to the actual mark on the bottom, right? Roseville versus Roseville. You can totally see the difference.
Fakes don't care about the details.
Huh?
Fakes don't care about the details.
They don't. And you know, when you're looking at something that is real versus fake, you know, because I have seen, Steve and I have been all over this country, literally, in different antique stores and vintage stores and stuff like that. And we've seen where people don't understand a fake versus a real. And it's very You don't want to tell them it's fake because you don't ever want to tell them it's fake.
Right.
You just want to be polite and say, okay, thank you, and then move on.
Move on, right.
But you want to be educated yourself for when you buy these, that you're buying the right thing, buying the real thing. So when you are holding it, you can feel, I want you to feel the difference too. So when you're holding this, you can feel which one's heavier.
This one.
So the real one, I need you up a little higher. Thank you. The real one is heavier?
Yes.
Okay, now.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that was
No. Now feel the paint and the way it's raised.
This is like matte paint. This is like glossy paint.
Right. So and they do make a matte as well, but you can tell by the art and the feel.
Oh, of course.
You know, so
This color
do your
scheme
due
is also-
diligence. Know when you're going to buy a piece for somebody or as a gift or something that, you know, you're buying the right piece. And there are times when this one goes away. Yep. There are times when people don't know that, so they'll put this out as a real Roseville, completely innocent. That's why I say there's no need for us to walk into a store and feel the need to educate everybody. If you have a good rapport with that store owner, let them know. If you can do it with a very,
Voice.
nice way, and you're a regular there, but if you're new to the store and you've never been in there before, you know what, just politely go.
Yeah.
Or don't buy it. Because the last thing somebody wants is for you to come in, well, this is fake. Because what happens in this type of an industry is this could be real, and the person's telling me it's fake because they want it for cheaper price. So that's where the shop owner's thoughts are going to go immediately.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
So if you're new to the shop, if you're just traveling, you just go, and move on. If you are a regular at the shop and you can do it with decorum, let them know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing.
You gotta be polite. You know, a lot of people don't know the difference between
Right.
the two.
But you let them know nicely. Maybe do it like I did it, where you show the difference and you show the difference.
Yeah.
Because in this industry, we don't know everything. Things are constantly changing. So if you walk into a vintage or an antique store and they're like, oh, I know all about that. Well, first of all, nobody knows all about everything because things constantly change. Isn't that fantastic?
We have to show these off.
Here, I'll hold that one. These are ceramic. And it doesn't matter if these things are vitrified or not. Because these are lights, by the way. Look at these.
1991.
Yep, 1991,
Los
the moon
Angeles.
and sun. Now, how cool! I love this because when you turn this one on, it'll throw stars out, right? And then you have your sun for during the day. These things are fabulous.
He looks.
It reminds me of Mac. The Mac tonight.
He's very mischievous looking.
But how cool are these?
I
right?
love these lights. I wish,
Set them up.
I wish I had a place to wire them. But
Yeah, they're direct wires. You know what these would be good for? Like you can, like if you had like in your bedroom, each side of the bed up on top.
oh, that'd be cute.
You know what I mean? Something like that, or in the
Remote
bathroom, above the mirror.
Oh, very nice.
But usually you need a lot of direct light for that. This was cool, I thought. So we got some of these in. Look at this. This is art on wood. This is burning art. So what they do is they use electrical currents to come in here, and that is a very dangerous form of art. But because you can electrocute yourself.
Oh,
easily.
yeah.
So don't just go home and try and to electrocute these or use electric to draw on
Out of
wood.
order.
But these are pretty cool. I love the unicorn. So another thing they did with ceramics and pottery back in the day is they did a lot of mosaics. And because whether it was a damaged piece of product or a damaged
this one.
piece of mosaic or whatever. Huh?
About this one?
Yeah, that's fine. They would do mosaic. Now this is probably a factory made one, but these are what I'm talking about, the little mosaic squares. Now everybody who's lived in the 70s has done something like this because this was one of our school projects, is we would have to make these.
Oh, that's what you were pointing at.
We would have to make these. No, it's the same thing. It's fine.
Very cute colors.
But we would have to make these where you have to glue them in and make a mosaic. These were big in the 70s. Big, 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 big. Even 60s.
I love those. Again, could you use it as an ashtray?
Yep.
A catch-all, jewelry, soap.
Yep. Put them on the wall. They're nice, color
Extensions of color for your house.
Thank you. She's an artist. So, was this just?
Yep, there's just chilling there.
So, also with Potty, we're going to look over here and we're going to look at some other pieces.
Didn't you want to talk about him
Who?
on the bottom?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say the wrong name again.
It's on the back.
Oh, good. Okay, Frank Lloyd Wright. Who knows Frank Lloyd Wright? Come on, hearts for Frank Lloyd Wright. Look, if you're an architect aficionado like me, you know who Frank Lloyd Wright is. I love architecture, especially commercial architecture.
On my end, you got a few hearts.
Do you? My mom still has the one I made.
Oh, how cute is that?
I told you I made
I
one
love
as a kid.
that.
Yeah, and that was in the 80s when I made my mom's. And early 80s, like early 80s.
That's so
But I didn't.
cute.
They had to make us in school.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
And I love that
Isn't
she
that awesome?
still has it.
Okay, so if you go to my mom's house, it's so funny because I can draw. I don't do it a lot, but I can. And all of the things I've drawn for my mom, like when I was in school, are all on her wall.
That's so cute.
In
She
her
made like a
hallway.
collage for
Yeah,
it.
well, it's in different places, but yeah,
That's
it's
cute.
cool. Is Lynn? I didn't know your husband was an architect. Is he commercial or residential? That's actually fantastic. Commercial architecture has always been in my blood, and I do like residential as well. But Frank Lloyd Wright, one of the best architects in the world, especially for craftsman type and mid-century looking, but more on a wood and I don't know, craftsman type. But this is a great piece to put in your house if you love Frank Lloyd Wright, commercial and residential. Good for him. So what buildings have I been in?
I love that. I feel like it's right here, silly.
Oh, it's
You have
always
so
been
much
my
pottery.
dream. It has always been my dream to have a building built that I built, designed and built. And I have yet to do that, by the way. So, but I will before I die.
You're like, it's on my bucket list.
I don't care if I have to do it out of mud.
My eyes are going crazy. I'm just trying to think of, we have so
No.
many pieces of pottery.
So this is one new one that we got, and I love the bright color of it, right? So I could see this, especially, and there's no name on it. And one of the things I cannot stand is, but it happens, is when somebody makes something cool and they don't sign it.
Sign it.
That's the worst in jewelry. But this is like $20, and this would be a great piece. And if you buy $25 more, it's $16. To put a nice summery arrangement in.
Literally.
Just a vase full of daisies because of the yellow.
Carnelians, black-eyed Susans, daisies will all
Right?
be perfect. Two loves.
So if you need to buy, if you have a gift giving event coming up like an anniversary or something that requires flowers, tell the person who's buying you flowers that you want to do it in a vase like this, because when the flowers eventually die, which they all do, you have this beautiful vase.
And then you can continue to reuse it with more beautiful
Yes, you
flowers.
can. And then we have like these ones, which are cool, mid-century, but this is a cool one. This is different. Now, I like to show this one because it's very mid-century, but what I like about it is it's got a little carrier, like a candle carrier.
Yeah, that's cute.
Right? So that way you can carry it into the living room to show the person
And then
without
back to the
touching the
kitchen.
vase. Without touching the vase. It's a vase.
No smudges here.
But I'm going to tell you, it would look good in a nice atomic mid-century house.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's raised up with a pedestal and a nice, just
And
single,
the texture.
just greens
Yeah.
sticking in that.
Cattails,
Yeah.
ferns.
You know what I mean? So as we move into the holidays and you are going to be buying flowers or gifts, always remember that if you buy something that's perishable and does eventually go, put it in something they can keep.
And that'll
And
kinda
not
give
just a glass one that ends up under the sink.
I gotta get him a cool one.
Because you know how many houses we walk into that have just glass ones under the sink?
And you're like, that's me, honestly. I have a few that are under my sink because they're lame.
So check this one out, you guys. This is a wall pocket. A wall pocket, right? But it's got this opening so the flower comes through and out the top.
Wow.
So it's got some sort of a backing here. So this would be good for something like like a dressing room
Oh yeah.
or a bathroom, something you put some silk flowers coming out of or draping down because it has the nice halo back. This is 611 USA. I bet you this is California pottery, USA. And most of this stuff is going to be USA.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What would you do in this?
Honestly, I would make like a, what do they call, like museum bouquets, which is like you strictly just have flowers coming out of the top, but then you take your greens and put them in the back.
Right.
And honestly, I would do that, or I would probably hang necklaces out of it, honestly.
You know what I would do with it? I would find the coolest little bendy toy, like person, some crazy person, and I'd have it like it's sticking out going, hey!
Help me.
Do you know what I mean? How
With
cool would
snakes
that
in
be?
it?
Brush holder. Yeah, you could use it as a brush
Or
holder.
a comb holder.
Or a comb holder. But, I mean, there's just so much. I like the idea of somebody's going, hey, you.
Help me.
Right. This is a cool one, too.
One of my favorites. I love that vase.
Tell me what you do with it, then. Go on.
It's cactus,
It
right?
is Francoma. Wait, F-R-A-N. I'll explain Francoma. Yep, it's a class cactus.
Honestly, I'd probably use this specific vase to hold some of my paintbrushes. Or honestly, I use a lot of cool vases to hold like pencils or markers because I know we've all been on the phone and they've tried to give us information and we don't have an available pen. So I'd probably use it for that. Or you could put napkins in here. You could fill this up with like cotton swabs or balls or like cotton pads. You could put your small cosmetics in here, like your lip gloss or your lipsticks, if you are like me and have a gazillion of them.
So let me tell you who it is.
Okay.
All right. It's by a company called Francoma.
Okay.
Francoma, Frankoma. Francoma. And Francoma does, we had the cutest little pair of cowboy boots, ceramic cowboy boots that were on a little string that were from him. Francoma, a lot of people look at Francoma and they see the green. They see the green, just the green pieces, right? They're all green, they're different things and whatever. And so people shy away from Francoma because it's all usually very uniform. But there's some things that Francoma does that are worth jumping into. And one of them is vases like this. One of the main Francoma, and I'll show you, it's hard to see a little bit. Maybe if I can get the glare just right, you can see it right there, Francoma, right? And he did a lot of Western stuff. And Francoma stuff doesn't go for that much if it's your basic green pattern stuff.
Does he mostly do plants?
No. Francoma does a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Okay? But what his most famous pieces are his hotel pieces. He made items for hotels, specific hotels. So, like in Miami, he would make, like, if they opened a brand new hotel in Miami, he would make a bunch of tropical, tiki, fabulous pieces for the
Themed
restaurants and stuff like
pieces.
that, and you could only see him there.
Oh wow.
So when those show up, those can be worth a lot of money. His lights, we had a little owl light that's old. Francoma goes bad.
Oh wow.
So but then a lot of people look at it as just the Western greenware.
Sure.
But he's gotten a
His
whole
favorite
bunch
color
more.
green?
Yeah, he's gotten a whole bunch more, right?
I really like that vase a lot.
I know, I do too. It's standard, and I'm going to tell you what this vase might be, and Steve, because it reminds me of a telefloral container
Oh, wow.
or an FTD container, which would still be, which I'm going to tell you. I say that, and people laugh, but the big dog in the window, I'm going to lose the name, Hagar. Hagar was one of the biggest producers of FTD containers for flowers.
Wow.
They did a lot of containers for flowers, telefloral, stuff like that. But now that stuff's going for a fortune because they threw it away a lot. This reminds me of one of those, but it's a bunch of little ducks on it, very mid-century.
I love the
Isn't
ombre.
that cute? I love it. What?
The ombre.
Yeah, the ombre, the color. Yep, and it's only a $10 little vase, so it's great to sit on to like grow some spices in that you just set up on
Or
your.
if you have like a brand new plant, like the one you gave me.
Yeah.
That is.
A little piece of it.
Yes. So I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook or anything, but Jason and Steve gifted me one of their oldest plants that they have
Yeah.
at their house.
And she has another one there too. She has come yet.
And I'm trying my best to take care of it, but I gave her a really large haircut, and you know those big, huge stalks that she's growing off? I gave her a haircut, and she's growing sprouts off
Yeah.
of those branches already.
It is a aloe plant. It's an aloe plant. So, and those are good to, get little containers like this and maybe give them out for Christmas.
Yes.
Because you could plant it in there and it'll grow.
It would be so cute, and I love that idea.
That is a good idea.
It is.
We've had that plant for 20 years and I've never done that and I just now thought of it.
It's okay, you can have some
Isn't that
sprouts.
funny? So this is a good piece, you guys. So this is from Norway, and as you can see, Norway, and it's got ELA on it, which is probably the designer, right, Steve? And this just arrived here from our Las Vegas store, and it is now available here. But look at isn't that gorgeous? The way they did it, and it's a heavy. Feel how heavy that is. Look at the back. Isn't the back cool? Feel how heavy that is.
Oh, wow.
So it's thick clay, and it is completely vitrified inside. It is completely vitrified inside, so you can put water in there. So a nice plant. This is a very nice piece and a collector piece that will only go up in value.
I like the back a lot.
So then we have the little ones, like you showed the one little one, but I love the little art pieces. Let me turn that for you. Look at this. Isn't that cool? Yeah, you can fit one little bud in it. Now this is vitrified on the inside, but on the outside you've got both of them. So you don't want to soak this in water because you will end up breaking it. I know, isn't that fun? I love that too. And it's got I don't know what that says, but the original sticker is still on it. I can't tell. 10, not bad. It's cute little things to sit in your windows.
No, yes.
Right? Especially if you have thick ledges.
Or if you're walking down the street and you find a cute little wildflower, you can pluck it
Yes.
and put it in one of these.
Or we have the little mid-century, and this has its stamp. See, you can research stamps like this. But these are great. You can put, literally, I have seen where people take these little tiny containers like this, and they plant little, not spices, I'm having a word problem.
Clovers?
No, what are they called? It's like spices, I guess. Like your little, somebody help me, I'm losing my word in here.
I'm trying to even get a hint.
Can you tell I'm not a cook? For
Oregano,
your
cilantro?
parsley, your cilantro,
Okay, yeah.
your herbs.
Herbs, yes.
Jesus. So
You're so silly. You said herb like 5 times.
I did? I
Yeah.
said spices.
Okay.
I guess it's the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
So I could have done same thing. So sometimes I shouldn't sometimes I shouldn't fight for
You're so
words that I already
silly.
say. But you could totally grow your little spices in this, your herbs in this, and put them in your window.
Now this is weird.
That's
and
a homemade piece,
I
think.
love it, but I hate it at the same time.
Brutalist. It would go with a good brutalist.
It'd be cool with some flowers in it for sure.
Oh yeah, a double.
Yeah.
Like 2 big lilies.
Yes, that'd be super
Mhm.
cool.
It reminds me of an anthill.
It reminds me of a weird alien.
Mm-hmm. And then we just have the cool mid-century round vases that you can set up. That we have so much, you guys.
Literally so
crazy.
much.
Ooh, this is a cool piece. Check it out. So this is a triple piece, and what this is got, see the little holes in the side? You would set this in here, fill it with water, and use those holes for the stems to come out of. So you would probably attach this down there with some sort of a tack, and you see it's hollow, so the water can go up inside. You put a nice arrangement out of the center and a few coming out of the side, and then you have the moat around it. How cool is that? Woo! Girl. Now I can do all sorts of things with that. Bring it closer so they can see. So this triple or quadruple centerpiece would be fantastic if you had, I think they're on there, aren't they?
I'm scared to tip it.
So good glass. I mean, this is beautiful. Can you
yes.
imagine that sitting on the table at Thanksgiving?
I love it.
You know, and something like this, you don't have to do flowers in.
You know, you could put nuts, candy,
Yep.
little napkins, or toothpicks in one of them,
Right.
cheese cubes. I immediately, because I love eating, immediately went to all the different snacks I could put in this
See, I
thing.
would do that too, and if I did do any type of an arrangement in this, it would be in the top, and the bottoms would be for that.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it would be very minimal
Put
on...
a floating candle in here, maybe.
Yes, something to that effect. So this is great. It would be great for a wedding too. So ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are getting married this fall, something like this would be great. You could put gourds in it. You could put different
Now, do you just
nuts.
untwist these and to take them off to clean them, or you just clean them on the
Just clean them on it.
fixture?
Yeah. But this would be great for a fall wedding.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you could put nuts, like, you know, like the bigger nuts, the Thanksgiving nuts.
Yeah.
I can't think of what they're called.
Cashews, walnuts,
The
pecans.
bigger ones, walnuts and stuff like that. And then up here do something
Some
simple.
floating candles.
Some
something,
floating
literally.
candles, something simple. But it would make for a great, look at this thing. Isn't
I
it
love
cool?
it. I think it's so pretty.
And it's nice just to sit on like a
Side
buffet
table,
or a
yeah.
side table too, and stuff. I'm glad you brought that.
I thought it was so pretty.
That was cute. And then we have candlesticks everywhere too, people.
Lots.
So,
Is this
so-
a matching bowl?
what are we looking at? No, okay, so this, grab the bowl too.
Okay.
So this, we're going to talk a little bit about glass for a second, because these two things, if it were 1980, the two things that we have here would be way out of our price range, because you see who they are?
Waterford crystal.
These are both Waterford crystal, and great cutting, so they are crystal. Well, it's got its lid on. Hold it by, yeah.
Wow.
Crystal. And so, you heard it when I took that lid off.
Yeah.
But these are crystal, Waterford crystal, and back in the day, like this is $65, then 20% off. And that's probably $100?
$50.
No, $50. So, back in the day, back in the 80s, this Waterford crystal bowl would probably be $300.
You see me grip it because Jason makes me nervous when he picks up
And
a bunch
then
of glass.
you have the Waterford on here as well, because there's so much better glass these days.
Oh, yes.
And Waterford is out of Ireland, but not all of it is anymore.
Mm-hmm. You want to take them both?
Oh, sure. Can you get it? Mm-hmm. But, you know, so there's all sorts of different things. Check out these. These are, again, ashtrays. Pieces of art, I'm telling you. Ceramic, hand-painted in Italy.
We also have this really cool
But-
piece, too. This is hand blown in Mexico, so glass, I mean.
Yeah, and this is it was probably a tourist piece, meaning that it probably was filled with something. You know what I mean, to drink. Oh, no, look.
Luxor.
This is from Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
This is from the Luxor.
Wow.
So this is hand blown in Mexico, which is interesting that it's hand blown. But this is one of their drink cups from the Luxor
It's
in
cute.
Las Vegas. Isn't that cool?
I love
you
it.
You could use it as a vase easily.
Oh, yeah, that's what I honestly thought it
Yeah,
was.
and it is glass, not ceramic, even though it looks like it. But check this one out. I love this one too. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And these ashtrays, they're not that in Italy again, on the bottom. So they're pieces of art that you can easily put on the table and just leave as is.
Is this clay? It feels like it's clay on the inside.
It is. It's clay. Okay, so Nefertiti,
She cute.
the scarab on her head. So she is cute, and this came from my own collection because I for a long time collected Egyptian stuff, and there was a male head as well, but that's sold. We're slowly going to be bringing in a lot more Egyptian stuff
Oh,
because I have
nice.
a bathroom that's completely Egyptian that we're going to be switching out.
Oh, wow.
And it's all vintage Egyptian. So.
Oh, pretty. I love her. She's
But-
very cute.
and this would go right with it.
Oh, yes, literally.
Where did you go? We'll set you right there for now. So, check this ashtray out. How many of you know about the boy peeing in the fountain?
Yes.
So this is a famous fountain. Famous fountain. Did you ever see the Money Pit?
Yes.
Did you guys ever see the Money Pit?
And if I'm thinking of the same thing, then I'll confirm in a second.
When he went down, when he went down the side, he was losing his footing and fell into the paint thing and rolled down
Rolled
and
down,
went head
yes.
first into this fountain. It's so funny. So they even made ashtrays that resemble famous.
Monuments?
Yes, Tom Hanks. One of my favorite movies of all time is Money Pit.
I'll have to give it a watch because I think it's been.
When
I don't
he's
know, I think
stuck
I've
in
seen
the
it one
floor
time.
all day long, I laughed my butt off.
I love Tom Hanks too.
Yeah, Diane from Cheers, but I forgot her real name. Shelley Long was in it too.
We have like this bust. What is this made out of clay?
That's
ceramic?
David. That's David. That's too heavy to pick up.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna pick that up.
So I have a David bust over here. Yes, like the Egyptian. Well, it's right there. I don't know if you can see it there.
See my hand over here? No, not really. Yes, now you can see it's right here.
Yeah, it's hard to see from there. It's a heavy one. I'll pick it up next time. But there's all sorts. What else is over
We
here?
have so many vases.
Like we have, if you like it, this is a cool piece, isn't it? This is Berlin. Look at that. Berlin. Isn't that cool? It's a KPM.
And for some of our newer viewers, we are not a mall. We do
No.
own everything in here. So if you are looking for something specific, and I know a lot of people say, well, you're an antique store. How could I find something specific? You might have broke something, lost something, would like a replacement. Feel free to ask because we more than likely will probably have it.
Yeah, because, I mean, this is not exactly this stuff, but we carry, like, the lids to Pyrex.
Yes.
And from the lids to Pyrex and Fire King, baking dishes. We carry lids to cookie jars and bases of cookie jars in
We
case
also
you just
have
broke your lid or your base.
Handles for Corningware.
Handles
and
for Corningware. And then over here is all of our do-it-yourself where there are antique and vintage handles, tools, all sorts of stuff. And I was just showing you stuff.
We have gargantuan sized nails.
They're called...
If you-
Rare. Okay.
Railroad
So
nails.
let me tell you, these are 9-inch nails.
Okay.
Okay. So back when Todd's was here, who knows about Todd's here in Michigan? Come on, give me some hearts. So back in the day, Todd's closed, I want to say in maybe 97, 98, I don't know.
Okay.
I had a friend Karen, and she was a huge 9-inch nails fan, right? And we're talking back in the day because this would not happen today. She got all of these nails, 9-inch nails, and put them all over her jacket. And so when people would say something, it's the 9-inch nails.
Duh.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, that's sick.
And they would let her in the club with those on.
I mean, it's
Today
not just...
they wouldn't.
Oh, from the heck no.
Yeah, they let her in the club with them on.
And because back then people weren't as vicious.
No.
Openly.
No, today they'd be sticking these in you.
Yeah.
But we literally have old school tools and stuff like that. Maybe we'll do an entire show on... Oh, I'm holding an axe. My name is Jason. I'm holding an axe. You know,
Just missing your mask.
all sorts of tools. Look at that. It's Ken Tool. Isn't
Can you
that
show
cool?
them that crazy toy or the game that's on the...
This right here.
Yeah.
Do I have to put it together? 'Cause
I don't know how to put it
I
together.
don't either.
I don't even know what it is, to be quite honest.
So these are games. These are all games.
What
Right
game?
here.
No idea.
So, like, I know on this one, we have it out right now, but we can make it so, and it will be just like hanging in this, and you can get it in and out.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This one, I have no idea. You can probably move all of those rings. So these are these crazy games.
But we'll never know.
Well, thank you, Beth. I know the 9-inch nails, right? I wonder if that's where he got his name.
He's seen a 9-inch nail and was like, this is the one.
Probably. Or I think the 9-inch nails is what they put in coffins. Wood coffins.
Oh,
9-inch
yeah.
nails. So, yeah. Anyways.
I appreciate
Oh my
you
God.
guys for bearing with us.
What do you mean bearing with us?
Well, because today it was hard for me. I was struggling before the show.
Well, we didn't really have a full, we were going to do,
Something, but it wasn't as, we would have ran out of more information than.
based on what we were going to talk about.
Yes.
So we decided just to let you see some of the stuff that we have and talk about some of the stuff that we have and regurgitate a little bit of the previous shows. into
Yeah,
this.
only because not a lot of our viewers get to view it every week, so you might have missed out on that show or only got to see a little bit of it. So it's not that we're running out of things to talk
No.
about, it's just that we have so many viewers, we don't want anybody
It's
to
funny
feel...
because we have so much stuff in here, right? And I sometimes will look at it and go, do I want to know about that? And
Right.
if I don't want to know about it,
Then
well, they want to know
they
about
do
it, and
not
I
wanna
can't
know
think of
about
things
it.
that way
Right.
because just because I may not be interested in it doesn't mean the 5,000 people who watch
Are not interested, for sure, for
So
sure.
some of the shows that we have coming up is next week is going to be on Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be on Detroit and Michigan in general, and it's not going to be on the history of Michigan or anything. It's going to be on old businesses that used to be here.
Oh, yes.
And the different advertising that they use to help promote their name, and how come they are still known today because of that.
And how advertising went from the ultimate extreme back then to let's be as boring and basic as possible.
Right.
Because now in 2023, advertising needs to be boring and clean cut in order for it to be professional. But I just can't wait for...
You want to know what's funny, too? I hate professional.
Me too.
I do. Because, I know, right? Use it, get back into what?
That's how I felt too.
I liked it, what?
You made time in the hospital a little bit brighter. Thank you.
Oh, no, but what does this say?
I liked it when they used to paint the brick on the building for advertising. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. And I'm so sorry you're in the hospital. I'm glad that it makes it a little bit more entertaining to the previous person.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about Detroit. We're going to be talking about things that came out in Detroit and Michigan that you did not know. Other than our big three, other than Little Caesars, other than, you know what I mean? The things
Detroit
that you know.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about literally so many things.
And then we have a show coming up in the middle of the month, and we have guest stars coming. They are going to be other owners of vintage and are they all vintage? Yeah, they're all vintage, and then some craft.
Yes.
Thrift, vintage, craft.
DIY.
But they're going to be owners, and they're here in St. Clair Shores, and their stores are here in St. Clair Shores, and we're going to discuss the future. We see the future of this business going. We're going to discuss. We're going to
ups, downs,
downs.
challenges.
We might have some funny customer antic things that we
for
can
sure.
talk about, stuff like that. But we will be having 4 owners of different stores, not just this one, but 4 other stores that you guys all know very well, and those names will come. I'm not going to tell them today.
We'll tell you next week, maybe.
Maybe, once I get confirmation on the last one. And then we have our fashion in Detroit coming at the end of September, beginning of October.
And then we were considering maybe giving you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of the new Halloween stuff that we have coming in, but that's not going to be until like the middle of September.
Well, that'll be next week, because it actually goes out the first week of September.
Of September. Okay, we're going to tell them right in the first week. Okay.
Yeah, because it'll be out by then.
Okay.
So we have a buttload, you guys, of Halloween coming in. Do you like my shirt?
I do. I love that's the first thing I told him when I walked in today is that I love his shirt.
Okay, so I love this movie. This is one of my favorite movies. And if you haven't seen it, watch it. It is part 2 of Night of the Living Dead, even though it's really not. But if you know who Point 45 Grave is, they dance on it. And if they ever redo this movie, they had better find an obscure punk band
To dance on the graves, for
so,
sure.
we're going to be and then we will, of course, have our Halloween shows as
Yes,
well.
and
And oddity shows. So we have a lot coming on, and I'm very excited about it.
I can't believe we're already talking about Halloween. I feel like we just took down Christmas last week.
Don't blink. It'll be Christmas next year.
I know, honestly.
Because I have been posting the Beastle, so people know that we're getting Beastle.
Yes.
And I'm excited because we carry all of the Beastle originals, and what that is they do the die cut, the tissue thing, the die cut decorations of like the witch and the pumpkin and stuff like that. Then they do the tissue ones of those too. And we have those originals, but they can tend to be expensive because they're from the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
And you don't always want to hang things like that.
Right. And we have the original die cuts and everything. So what we decided, because Beastle is the same company that made them back in the 50s, they are remaking them today. So we ordered some of the vintage-inspired, the retro, to hang next to our originals, so that way it gives the customer a selection of lower priced Halloween decor that is in the retro style, or that's in the style of the original
So you can
in a
still have a
retro
good
format.
time without ruining your older one.
Right, so
And
buy
change.
the original, and maybe you put it on an easel and set it up without putting, you know what I mean, stuff like that, and then tape the crap out of the
newer one.
newer ones.
No one will be able to tell the difference.
No, you can't tell the difference, not in this day and age. But for your heartfelt collectors, this is a way that you can display what you love without ruining the originals.
For sure, and still get that same amount of serotonin.
Yes, absolutely. And at a lower price. So, we're trying
Yeah.
on that
I
aspect.
think we're doing a good job.
This is, besides jewelry, this is one of the very first things that we decided to carry as new.
Yes.
Because we are a vintage and antique store. an oddity store, but in this day and age, not everybody can afford all of the old fabulous stuff. So let's give them
A chance.
lower price,
Absolutely.
retro version of the old.
Which there's nothing wrong with that, because a lot of the older things, they deserve to have a second life
Yes.
inside of a box that's being hidden somewhere.
Or inside of glass on the wall, or
for
whatever.
sure.
But you don't want to tape it. You don't want to do anything like that. So this is where the reproductions or the somebody say something.
Nope, I was just making sure.
Ah. But anyways, ooh, we're running late. So thank you for putting up with us and our craziness in this today. And look at that future home. Oh, I got to show you. I don't care. We got this, and this is from the 1950s. Somebody made their perfect home. And you know what? This is here in Detroit, so maybe we'll talk about this
That's awesome.
next week.
Maybe we can find that
Look,
house,
they even did their
honestly.
whole house. This is what she wanted her house to look like. Look, she did the living room. This is what I want my house to look like, too. Are you kidding me? Thank you guys so much for watching, and look for this along with all of Detroit memorabilia
Next Tuesday.
And go ahead.
So we're still using Instagram,
All of
Facebook,
it.
and Threads. So make sure you swing on over to those things and give us a like, comment, and subscribe.
And TikTok.
TikTok we're still up there.
Yeah, we're still on it.
So we're still using it. We're still trying to get that amount of followers so we can go live on
But
there.
to be honest, I have not been putting a lot on it, so I need to put more on it.
Sure.
It gets exhausting to have 12
Social medias, honestly, it's too much sometimes, I feel
Mhm.
like. But I really can't wait until next Tuesday. It's going to be a really fun show, jam-packed
Yep.
with a lot of information. So if learning about Detroit, your home city, or Michigan in general is your thing, make sure you tune into our next show
Or
on
if you
Tuesday.
just like history, because Michigan's been around forever, but Detroit's been around longer than Michigan has. So,
And I am, again, only 24 for our newer viewers, and I love learning and talking about things that I used to experience when I was a little kid. So a lot of those brands still might be newish, or still might be something that isn't as classic as I think, but I'm really excited to talk about.
yes, and one last thing, we do have our Mad Walk this weekend
Oh, yes.
coming up, and we have a team there, and I will be doing some major speaking there, and she's going to be filming me during some aspect of it. Steve will be there, our staff will be there. We have a bunch of people coming. We have room for more. I posted the link on our Facebook and our Instagram. Please jump on, sign up, come. It's at Rochester Municipal Park on next Saturday.
From 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yep, so it doesn't take up your whole day, but if you have not been to that park, you are missing out because that park is stunning.
It's going to be a really great time.
Yes,
I'm
it
excited
is.
to do it for such a good
So
cause.
you can either jump on, register online on the link I have on our page, or you can pay. You can come the day of.
And I'm not even going to say I'll see them on Tuesday. I'll see you guys on Saturday at the walk.
Yeah. This is her first one, and she's going to be, working with Mad with me a little bit.
I'm
So
excited.
come in and support her as well
Yes,
as everybody else. So
absolutely.
anyways, you guys have a good night, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. I should get a